We're on YouTube, audio's on.
You're the best. Thank you.
Ready?
Are you dead?
We're getting that involved.
Okay. She's crossing the street.
I think.
But you would commute, you're not threatening leaving.
Are we recording and all that stuff?
Yep, we're-
Okay,
I was just waiting for you to start and then I can record.
okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Troy City Council. It is our regular meeting. Now we are recording. Okay, let's try that again. Welcome to the Troy City Council regular meeting, October 3rd. It is 7 o'clock. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Keel,
Present.
Councilmember Brazen,
Here.
Councilmember Spain McLaren, Councilmember Vera,
Present.
Councilmember Soriento, Councilmember Casey,
Present.
Council President Steele.
Present.
6 are present, 1's absent.
Thank you. The next item is our public forum. This portion of our agenda is an opportunity for the public to address the council on any item that is on the agenda. So I would at this point invite anyone who is interested in speaking to an item on the agenda to please come forward and give us your name. And let the record show that Councilwoman Soriento has joined us. Batteries?
Well, the good Lord knows you can't go big enough now.
Well,
But
Our-
that wouldn't report
our friends online would like to hear you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Peggy Konak. I'm from Lansingburg. I do have many comments on tonight's agenda, but I do want to bring something to your attention. Just as I was leaving my house in North Lansingburg at about 6:38 this afternoon, there were multiple shots fired from 2 different types of weapons. Police are on their way up there. Just wanted to give you guys an update. The series of shots that I initially heard, as did my brothers and our neighbors, was not from a standard magazine. There were too many shots fired initially. Just let you know, things are wild in North Troy tonight. As far as the agenda is concerned, there is one point, having many years come to council meetings, that I've noticed since January, that many of the items that are presented are not going directly through the council president. My memory serves that it usually did. Now perhaps that has something to do with the majority, but as I understand it, it didn't happen under the previous council president. And if I recall correctly, she was in fact in the minority. So just making a point that this is noticed, at least by me, who's been coming since the 1990s. The sale of certain owned real estate properties, ordinance 47. I reviewed much of what I saw there. I did make notice that a particular developer was working with 3 separate entities, all from the same address in Florida, were approved to purchase the properties. Again, just something I noticed. It's also very good to see TBD get an opportunity to clean out the evidence room, locker, etc. I would, however, suggest that whoever is redacting that information be a little bit more attentive to detail. There are a number of entries that far too much information involving a case, such as sample taken for DNA, were left there unredacted. Just saying. Ordinance 49, that covers that. Ordinance 55, this one is most interesting because these tie into the one property to the developer in the first list, and these two are specifically calling for senior living, senior housing. Now, some of you may recall that a similar project was recommended and suggested at the end of Sunnyside on what was once vacant land. That was sold to the city planning board as senior housing. I do not believe it exists as such today. I fought against that project then because I knew the neighborhood. After all, I was president of Troy Central League at the time and lived on House Avenue and knew it was not the right fit. Yet the planning board approved it and it went through. Just saying. Ordinance 56, transferring the funds. This one I'm not really conflicted on because I adore Jerry and Elvira Ford. They were integral in us reestablishing Troy Central Little League. Jerry volunteered his time and his services and continues to do so. I am more than supportive of them being funded for that community center. That said, are we really sure the money's there? We don't have a comptroller, we don't have a principal accounting clerk, and we have the city treasurer doing the comptroller's job. Have we gotten quarterly reports yet for the year? Any of them? By blank faces, I'm assuming no. How do we know the funds are there? We don't. In addition, I also reviewed the vacant list, which is part of the agenda. And I noticed we have no comptroller, no director of code, no grant coordinator, and no water plant maintenance supervisor. I've been a civic activist my entire life. My entire life. I wrote my first letter to the editor at 12 years old, supporting tag days at Troy Central Little League. I don't do this for me. I do this for my fellow citizens, for the people who've lived here lifetimes and generations, and the people coming today. We need to know where the money is coming from. We need to know where it's going, and we need accurate reports. By the way, has the budget been presented yet? I believe per the charter that's supposed to be done. All right, on to the next one. Resolution 138, Commissioner of Deeds. It's always good to see somebody becoming involved in the process. And finally, Resolution 141. I was very fortunate to get to know Jim Conroy in a small way. A fine, upstanding gentleman, indeed, who served this city in many ways very well. He deserves the honor. Folks, that's all I've got for you tonight. I look forward to seeing you at the November's meeting. Oh, one last note. I am so thrilled about that fire station. Now let's get it built.
Thank you, Peggy. Does anyone else wish to address the council on an item on the agenda this evening?
Hi, my name is Mark Speedy. I live at 512 6th Avenue in Troy. I am here to talk about the budget amendments that are on the agenda today. I would just like to echo the sentiments of the woman who spoke previously about the lack of a comptroller in making these very important financial decisions for how we're allocating this ARPA money. I agree that Team Hero does amazing work, and I would love to see them, have the support they need in order to carry out these programs. That said, I am also concerned about how this money is being reallocated from the building of a community center into the running of a community program and staffing of salaries there that would only serve for a year. I want to make sure that those people at Team Hero have the resources they need to continue a program like that for the long term and not just for a single year of salaries. I also didn't see anything in the proposal about where this money is coming from for the community center. Did we get an updated estimate on the cost of building a community center that it would cost $300,000 less? Additionally, the allocation of $50,000 for hosting an esports tournament in the city of Troy seems absurd to me. And I say this as someone who works in the gaming industry. I am a proud employee of WB Games, one of the Troy's local gaming sector, hubs. Esports as an industry as a whole continues to grow. I can acknowledge that fully, but collegiate esports has not. It's been a pipe dream that colleges have been trying to make happen for a very long time. Even the report from ECAC on this proposal acknowledged that they tried doing this tournament until 2022 when they shut it down, assumably because there were not enough attendees. We're talking about $50,000 to potentially bring in a tournament that will have maybe a couple hundred people showing up into Troy for a weekend. And no guarantee, as far as I can tell, that it would continue to be here in perpetuity. So I have a hard time seeing that this is going to be something that is actually benefiting the community in the long term. So I'm very curious as to where this money is coming from as well. I understand it's ARPA funds, but it seems very strange to me that this is something that we're choosing to prioritize right now when we have so many other massive issues in the city right now, when we are woefully understaffed. We're lacking a comptroller to even tell us if this is financially feasible. I really think we should be taking a step back from trying to do these, what I would consider to be a vanity project. I also just want to express that it's been disappointing to see that the city council has taken no concrete action on addressing the very real housing crisis that we have in the city right now. And, all across the country, we have a very severe shortage of housing, of apartments. And we have seen rents continue to rise in a way that is unsustainable for many people, especially seniors who are on fixed incomes and are unable to afford the rising rents. I would just like to emphasize again that the city council should take action. The Democratic caucus has proposed a housing task force to do some of that, but there is additional work that can be done. We should be funding, housing projects to, get the land bank developing more, getting more of these houses that we are selling, making sure they're going to people who are going to develop them into properties that people in Troy can afford, and especially approving more projects for senior housing. That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Does anyone else wish to address the council on an agenda item? Okay, seeing none, we'll move ahead with our agenda. Ordinance 47.
Ordinance 47, ordinance authorizing sales of certain city-owned parcels of real property by the proposal sale application method. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Keel, second.
Second.
Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution. On the ordinance.
ordinance, right?
I'm sorry,
It's the ordinance. You said resolution.
I'm sorry. Any discussion on the ordinance?
Council President,
Councilmember Vera.
I would just ask that all of the proposals that were received be provided to the public as part of the record for this meeting. We only have the proposals in front of us this evening that were selected by the property review group, but I think it would be beneficial for residents to have access to all of the proposals that were received.
To post them on the website?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion on that?
Yeah, Council President Steele,
Yeah.
it was just good that we are selling some of these properties. Some of them have been, vacant and run down for a while, or just, vacant lots. And as far as the housing, we had a proposal that somebody wanted to do some light manufacturing, but my opinion was that we have some empty warehouses in the city that'd be a better choice. Instead, we gave it to somebody who's going to build some senior housing. So I think this is going to be great. We're going to get some things all fixed up in the city of Troy with these properties and get some new housing also. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 nos. Ordinance 47 passes.
Ordinance 49.
Ordinance 49, ordinance declaring certain city-owned personal property as surplus and directing the office of the city comptroller to sell or dispose of the surplus property. Council President Steele at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan.
Second.
Second by Councilmember McLaren. Discussion?
Council President Steele.
Councilmember Casey.
I would just suggest maybe that the chief take item 5 off where it says assorted burglar tools. If you could maybe take that, throw them in the garbage. Thank you.
Thank you. Trying to get every penny possible. May come back to bite us, who knows?
Yeah, right. Where'd you get these tools? Thank you, President.
Sure. Any other comments? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 nos. Ordinance 49 passes.
Ordinance 55.
Ordinance 55, ordinance authorizing sales of certain city-owned parcels of real property by the proposal sale application method. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Keel, second.
Second.
Councilmember Soriento. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
6 ayes, 1 no. Ordinance 55 passes.
Ordinance 56.
Ordinance 56, ordinance transferring funds within the 2024 miscellaneous special revenue fund to reappropriate unused funding from the American Rescue Plan. The Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay, we have a tie on that one. I'm going to give it to Councilmember McLaren, second by Councilmember Soriento. Discussion? I would just attempt to answer some of the questions that were raised during the public forum. The steering committee, the ARPA steering committee, which includes Councilmember Casey and myself, along with the mayor, deputy mayor, corporation counsel, and treasurer, met and determined that it was not feasible to build and maintain a community center with the allocation of $1,000 or $1 million. And so then we began to look at other possible uses for this money. Please be aware that ARPA monies must be allocated by December. So we are under a time crunch here. And so we were presented with the Team Hero proposal, which is in fact acting as a community center. It is providing after-school programming in the STEAM category, partnerships with RPI and community agencies. The ECAC allocation was determined as an investment in our gaming community here in Troy. It also it represents a partnership with RPI as well. I can speak from personal well, at any rate, I have a grandson in high school who plays esports, and it's the only social interaction he has, playing sports, these esports with other schools. And it does my heart good to see him engaged in something. So if we can encourage this on the collegiate level here in Troy, I think it's an investment well made. That's my personal opinion, though. I don't wish to speak for the council on that. I hope I answered some of the questions that were raised. Any other comments?
Did a good job.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes. Ordinance 56 passes.
Resolutions, Resolution 138.
Resolution 138, resolution appointing a commissioner of deeds for the city of Troy. Council President Steele.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento,
Second.
seconded by Councilmember McLaren. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes. Resolution 138 passes.
Resolution 141.
Resolution 141, resolution to commemorate the life and service of James J. Conroy, September 28, 1947 to August 14, 2024, by designating a portion of Second Street between Congress Street and Division Street as Jim Conroy Way. For Council President Steele.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second,
Second.
seconded by Councilmember McLaren. Discussion.
Council President.
Councilmember McLaren.
I just want to kind of echo what Peggy said when she spoke about what an upstanding man Jim Conroy was, how much he contributed to the city of Troy, and you know, how deserving his memory is of this award.
Thank you. For those who may not have had the honor and privilege of meeting Jim, I would like to just take a minute to read the resolution. Whereas James J. Jim Conroy was born and raised in Troy, where he was educated in the virtues and responsibilities of public service by his father, who represented the 7th Ward on the Rensselaer County Board of Supervisors. And whereas Jim graduated from St. Paul's School and Catholic Central High School, where he served as student council president and was named a Crusader of the Year for outstanding athletic achievement. And in later life, he chaired the school's board of trustees. And whereas Jim was the first member of his family to attend college, graduating from Marist College in 1969, where he was quarterback of the football team, and thereafter earned a master's degree in public administration from Russell Sage College. And whereas Jim was a dedicated public servant who was devoted to the betterment of his community, serving on the Schenectady County Legislature, Schenectady City Council, and as deputy mayor of Troy from 1996 to 2004. And whereas together with Mayor Mark Pattison, Jim helped lead the city of Troy through the darkest days of its generation-long financial crisis toward fiscal and economic recovery. And whereas Jim has the distinction of running for mayor in both Schenectady and Troy. And whereas Jim supported his community by serving on the boards of St. Peter's Hospital, Catholic Central High School, Oakwood Cemetery, Marist College Alumni, and Troy Area United Ministries. And whereas Jim undertook a second career in commercial real estate and promoted Troy by giving new life to properties such as the Cannon Building, St. Augustine's Holdings, and many others. And excuse me, and whereas Jim passed away on August 14th, 2024, survived by his beloved wife Phyllis, his children Jacqueline, Sean O'Donnell, James, Karen Conroy, Charles, Amy Conroy, and 5 grandchildren whom he adored. And whereas Jim, known as the boy from Troy, truly loved his city, refurbishing the home on Second Street that he shared with Phyllis and always opening it for Troy's hidden garden tours to support Prospect Park. And whereas in recognition of Jim's many years of exemplary public service, the City Council of the City of Troy desires to honor his significant contributions and longstanding devotion to the Troy community. Now therefore be it resolved that Second Street between Congress Street and Division Street shall bear the honorary designation of Jim Conroy Way. And be it further resolved that this honorary designation shall not alter or change in any way the official street name of Second Street, nor in any way alter the city map. Thanks for indulging me in that. I hope that for those who may not have had the pleasure of knowing Jim, that helps to understand why we as a council are acting tonight in his honor. He's going to be greatly missed. He was a tremendous advocate for our city. And I hope that when the Conroy family see that sign on Second Street, they'll know how much we all miss him. Anyone else wish to say anything? All in favor?
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes. Resolution 141 passes.
At this point in the evening, we have another public forum. This is an opportunity for any member of the public to speak to the council on any item. It doesn't have to be an agenda item. It can be anything of interest to you.
I greatly appreciate Peggy Konak, Lansingburg. I greatly appreciate the short meeting today, which gives me an opportunity to raise a concern I have. Can we talk dog shelter? Is it about time Rensselaer County had its own darn dog shelter? Now, let me tell you why this is important to me, because I am not a dog lover. I'm going to be honest. I'm a cat mommy. I may be a widow, but I'm still a single cat mommy. That said, I've mentioned previously, I'm the immediate past president of Troy Central Little League. I mentioned Jerry and Elvira's help and getting Mac and I and so many other people together and saving that league and reestablishing it. I had occasion recently to talk to my neighbor, Kevin, who happens to be the City of Troy's animal control officer. And I know the need. And I understand that we've converted the garage. I also understand that at the last meeting, you guys approved salaries for that, which is fine. This is necessary. This is a service the city should be providing. Now, isn't it wonderful that there was a fenced-in field for the city to utilize for the purpose of walking those dogs? It's just a darn shame they forgot to ask the owner or make an offer. The Little League owns that land. Yes, they do. I signed the paperwork myself in 2013. My father was vice president of the league in the 70s when that land was signed over to them and purchased then. This is a fact, okay? That field is owned by the Little League and is registered at Little League International. Just as I did in 2012, when we were trying to reopen the field, I asked the city for help in cleaning up the field so we could actually play on it. And it took that staff, George Rogers, 3 days to clean that field so we could have opening day. I understand it took 3 days to clear that backfield. No, the children aren't using it right now. You know why? It's not baseball season. They play in the spring. I am certain that if the president and the board of directors, more importantly, the board of directors at Troy Central Little League had been approached, they would have opened those gates, open arms. Thank you so much for cleaning up that land. Absolutely, you can use this. if you need to. For the city to take it back, thinking they own it in the first place, Sharon Martin made that mistake in 2011 and 2012. That's why I fixed it as president of Troy Central Little League. That is a fact, Jack. Can you tell I'm a little passionate about my Little League? Do you know when I first coached at that Little League? 13 years old. 13. I'm 63 next week. That's 50 years ago. That's a long history with the ballpark. The league more than likely would have gladly opened the gates and allowed for this to happen. For the city to think they can take by eminent domain, which is how they better have taken it. It's not their land. You wouldn't take private property away from someone for this purpose. Why are you taking a not-for-profit's property away? They should have been asked. They would have gladly allowed you to use, especially having to clean it up. Getting volunteers at the league is not the simplest thing on the planet. And to have individuals claim to support that league and not have the courtesy to talk to the president, the vice president, or any member of the board of directors prior to coming in and taking that land was downright incorrect. Don't tell me that history. I know it. I helped write it. When that field went up for sale, I pulled right into that lot, called the phone number on the for sale sign. 24 hours later, that sign was gone. I fought to save that field then, and I'll fight to save it now. That is not city-owned land. That is owned by the Little League International, Troy Central Little League Incorporated. Do a deed search. End of story. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.
This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. A few people caught it. I'm gonna say it one more time for the ones who didn't catch it. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it.
Amen.
I just want to say thank you first and foremost to each and every person who has made this possible for us. For those who may not know, let me step back. My name is Jerry Ford. I'm a resident in South Troy. And it's just overwhelmingly just beautiful to be standing in this space right now. From what you have proposed and what you have set in place. Some of you may or may not know it was a little bit over 2 years ago that I was in a really, really bad accident right out front. And my life could have been over with. I ride by that place a lot of times and I see that spot and I'm like, wow, that could have been like flowers or something right there. But God left me here for a purpose. And so I'm so incredibly thankful once again for this opportunity to serve this city. I didn't know Peggy was going to be here, but she just, talked about some of the things that we've been able to do as individuals who just was concerned about God's people. First and foremost, simply concerned about God's people. We were able to volunteer, with the Troy Central Little League under the guidance of Matt Henderson and Joyce, and they showed us what community work looks like. We've been doing a lot of work in the North Central area, whether it be with them or the Sanctuary for Independent Media, collaborating with whomever wanted to collaborate for our concern with our young people. And our mentoring program at the Boys and Girls Club garnered us a Merit Award, second place in the nation. Our then thank you. Thank you. Our then city council president brought us in the same spot and recognized us because that was a big feat for us, Troy, New York, to be second in the nation and get a Merit Award for character and leadership development for our children here in Troy. That's a big deal. And I was thankful at that time to be able to work with her and alongside with her, and I'm very much thankful now. I just want to just thank everybody that has ever came out to support us. And, you know, our heart has always been for our children. We really got into this based on the children. There were two young men that were killed right here on 06 Avenue. A 14-year-old was shot. And at that time, Jerry was 14-year-old. And we said that we weren't going to do it because what if it was our child? And that's why we got into this. So never, please, I know people are going to say what they want to say, but judge us by our actions. Judge us by our actions. And we have right here in this city over 15 years of documented work that we've been doing. And so I just wanted to say thank you. You know, this is just the beginning. You've invested. That's a seed that's been planted. And so I want Troy to make sure that when the time comes, you'll know that the Fords are here, Team Hero are here, and we're going to make a harvest for all of those who are here to enjoy it with us. And I just want to give my wife an opportunity to say a few words.
Good evening. Well, this is not the beginning. We've been working. We've been doing this. And one thing we set out to do when we came up with Team Hero was to operate during non-traditional hours, not to be the traditional agency that's just 9 to 5. So our work continues into the night. Our work continues on the streets with the youth. Our work continues on the scene with bodies on the ground. Our work continues with the families. The work that we do, I can go on and on about it. And also the impacts that we've had in the lives of not only the youth, but their families, because we believe in empowering the family as a whole. Seeing the smiles on their faces, hearing the thank yous, receiving the letters, it makes it all worth it. Our strength comes from God. We treat them kids and their families like souls. Everybody needs a little bit of hope. We want to be preventive in the work that we do. So we want to prevent those mental health issues. We want to prevent evictions. We want to empower families to use the resources that we've provided. We want to be able to educate them. I just want to say I wrote a whole speech, but I don't want to go on rambling. I do thank everybody, the whole community, all the other grassroots. People know my husband has countless energy and commitment to this city. Like he said, we're homeowners. We're raising 3 kids in the city. Canal Park was the best thing that ever happened in our neighborhood. Canal Park is where it is. And our work continues every day, as long as we're on the block before it, to go over there and check with those youth and steer them and mentor them and provide them with workforce development, get them signed up for summer youth employment, talk to their parents, encourage them, refer them, link them, serve them. It goes on and on. But I thank you for entrusting us and getting on board, because we already been on board. We've been doing it that long. And not to sound cocky or anything, but when you have blood, sweat, and tears and passion in something, and you make the sacrifices, it just has a special place in your heart that you got to be able to tell people about. You got to be able to share it. So again, I thank the whole entitled council and you, Mayor Carmelo.
They said a lot. I'm Steven Figueroa, also part of Team Hero and business owner in the Italian community area. Little Italy. Again, like they said, thank you to the city council. Thank you to Carmela for believing in us. If a little backstory, if you guys didn't know, I'm actually a product of Team Hero. So back about 13 years ago, I know if all you guys remember, CEO, they had a youth build program. And I was a part of that. I graduated, and that's where I met Jerry. He came to speak to our class when I was in the middle of getting my education. And it was inspiring to me. And he really introduced me to and really opened up my horizon to see what community works look like. And ever since then, I told Jerry when they was doing their first session that I wanted to be a part of it. I was nosy, hey, what Team Hero is, and I wanted to be involved. And ever since I've been involved, it's been a blessing to my life. and it's been a blessing to even serve the community. This is not the beginning. This is just, what you guys support is just gonna expand our work that we do on another level. And I also wanted to also answer a question. There was a question that was asked about funding. The funding is actually for 2 years, not 1 year. And this was also in collaboration, a little backstory too. My restaurant, I had a dining room area, right? And there weren't a lot of traffic. So I was like, you know what can we do to be creative? So I sat down with Jerry and he just said, you know what, Team Hero needs a headquarters. We need a home where we can serve the community. And that's when we decided to collab on it. I took all the tables out of there and was like, it was a no-brainer to turn the dining room into the Team Hero community. And it's not taking anything away from North Central. Day in, day out, we're still serving the community of North Central. We just got our refrigerators in, so we're excited for that. And the coolers. So with that being said, also something that wasn't mentioned, we just created a partnership with the Regional Food Bank of the capital area. So that's also not only going to be a community center for North Central and provided resources, but starting, we're ready to go like next month. We're going to be opening it up for families, no matter what area code you're in, no matter if it's North Central, Lansingburg. We're going to be doing a food pantry twice a month. So these funds are going to help get staff. And this vision was before we received the funding, we was ready to roll out and figure it out. But with this, it's really going to help serve the community on a bigger and larger level. And like I said, it's not taking anything away from North Central. We're still doing the workforce program that we have been servicing young people from the North Central community. And we're invested from North Central to Lansingburg to North Troy. It's about the community. No matter what race, no matter where you come from, we're here to serve everybody as a whole. Then that's our slogan, helping everyone recognize opportunities. So thank you, City Council. Thank you, the whole community that trust us, and thank you to the mayor for supporting this vision. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Diamond Owens, and I was an at-risk youth. I met the Fords at 13. I'm 22 now. Can I say what my appointed position is? Okay. I am now the appointed president of the NAACP Youth Council. I am two-time representative of Troy and Albany for their Youth of the Year. Me and my sister are the only two people to place as top 3 finalists since 1929. It took me 2 years. It took my little sister 1. I don't like that. But today I will be talking to, I graduated high school. I graduated from the high school that kicked me out as a top student with a 98.30 GPA. Before I even got to 12th grade, I was offered invitation to Princeton and Howard, full expense paid trips for the summer, me and a chaperone to go and check out their arts program. Unfortunately, due to people not wanting me to succeed, I did not get to go on either one of those trips. But I am a part of the National Society of High School Scholars. Yes, yes. And today I will be talking to you guys about the number 9. The number 9 is a the number 9 is a numeric. No. The number 9 in numerology is considered powerful, representing completion, wisdom, spiritual growth, and drawn to serve humanity. In Hinduism, the number 9 is considered divine, representing the end of a cycle. And in Buddhism, the number 9 is associated with the 9 stages on the path to enlightenment. In Christianity, the number 9 is associated with the 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit, being love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Commitment, honor, respect, credibility, trust, ethics, resilience. A 9-word acronym representing a 9-letter word, character. Developed after anguish, grief, and heartache, sick of the sound of yet another life taking their last breath due to someone else's failure to be self-aware and properly placed to understand and deal with anger. 6 individuals not answering a call for help, but marking a path to health, giving youth the tools to not just be the statistics already set for us. Kids lingering on streets turned, raising hands in seats, excited to not just learn, but engage and be present. 9 letters, character, turned fear and hurt into a rose that grew in the concrete. Commitment, honor, accountability, respect, action, credibility, trust, ethics, resilience was not just words, but the building blocks to success.
One heartbeat.
Just about to say that. Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Deborah Garrett. I'm a former council member for District 2. I'm here not on my own behalf, but I'm here on behalf of my son. I wasn't able to bring him with me tonight because I'm coming from work. As you can see my KIPP uniform. I'm an associate director for post-secondary success at KIPP High School here in Troy, New York. So I'm coming on behalf of him because I wanted to share this. My son got the opportunity to work with Team Hero over the summer, and every day since the summer. And now that they're going to be going into this fall session, he's been harassing me. So he got all of the kids, all of the 9th graders at KIPP harassing me for applications because they want to work for the summer. So I say all that to say that whatever everybody else is feeling, my child would like to work, and the other children that's harassing me at the school would like to work also. I'm not sure if Team Hero have a spot for all of them, but I'm just saying there's a few of them that's been harassing me. Matter of fact, I actually had to call KP this morning to see if he had an extra application for one of the students. But on a serious tip, I think that the thing that's most important is that you have to pay attention to the people that's doing the movement, right? Nobody in here that's standing on this side of the podium do this for free. Excuse me, do this as their permanent job. This is all free work, volunteer work. That's called servant leadership. And when you're a servant, you're serving others before you're serving yourself. And I think that if anything is going to be noticeable about that, when you leave here tonight, remember that everybody that is in this, like I said, on this side of the podium is doing it out of love, and that they care for the kids and that they want to make sure they succeed. My son is not an at-risk youth, but because he's a Black male, he is at-risk youth, if you understand where I'm coming from. So giving him this opportunity to be able to work, and he was able to buy his own school stuff, I'm just saying, that's a major help for parents. And I work full-time, but I'm quite sure parents that don't work full-time would appreciate their child having a space to be able to go. And those ones that are not working, rather the students that are not working, that's just being able to have a safe space to go. So if anything, please make sure that you're taking that into consideration, that it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids that's in this city, and we want to make sure they succeed. Like I said, my role at KIPP is a post-secondary success person, and everything that Diamond just stated, I get paid to do, but they're doing it for free. They don't even realize that they're doing that stuff, right? You're pushing students, you're pushing kids into another direction. So I just want to make sure that you understand that, like, when you're thinking about this whole scenario with this money or whatever the case may be, these kids gonna go from North Central, they're gonna go on Lansingburg. My son thought he was fancy because he got a CDTA bus card this summer, and he's all over the place. So I say all that to say just to know, like, regardless if the center is gonna be placed at North Central, the North Central kids are gonna still eat off of it anyway. So I just want to make sure that you're mindful of that. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I skipped this part. I did want to answer a question in regards how there was one comment made about, yes, we getting the funding, but how are we going to sustain ourselves? as an organization. So the goal was in the dining room that we converted to the community center. I broke the wall and it's a connection straight to the kitchen. What that means is that we ran a free program this summer through the Rensselaer County providing food to young teens, which opened the doors to place biddings to provide food for the school. So not only the collaboration is with My Restaurant and Team Hero, Team Hero also has access to the kitchen, which we will be able to place in bids to provide foods for all the schools, possibly in Albany or in the city of Troy as well. So that's our plan to be sustained. Because just like any investor, okay, I give you this money. Well, the question is, well, what happens when this money runs out? So that's our plan. We're submitting our application. I believe it opens back up in February. Yeah, we submitting our application and the bids in February to gain some accounts so that we can provide food for the schools, so that it can also help Team Hero with overhead costs, staffing, and so forth, and create a revenue for the organization. So just in case, we do run out of funding, we have secondary to help keep this organization keep going. And we're also in works with some of the grants that we're applying for. So we're definitely in that route in creating sustainability for the organization.
Thank you.
Thank you once again for everyone. Thank you.
Good evening. Is it okay if we distribute some letters from the neighborhood?
Certainly.
Yes, thank you, Becky. Good evening, City Council members and citizens of Troy. My name is Drea Layenza. I live at 2227 Fifth Avenue, and I'm here to talk about deterioration of the neighborhood block east of here between Federal and Hutton, between River Street and Sixth Avenue, including Old Sixth that was just mentioned a few minutes ago. I bought my house in 2005. It had been empty for 10 years, and I worked on the necessary extensive renovations for 5 years. Soon after moving into my house in 2010, I was alarmed to see Mayor Tutunjan looking at one of the block of 3 houses across the street. By the time I got home from work that day, 2 of the 3 houses were gone, followed by 6 more in the neighborhood since then, including at least 1 illegal demolition. Longtime residents watch as our neighborhood comes down around us. Imagine the houses and buildings in the neighborhood where you live. Now imagine 8 empty lots where those houses once were. What kind of impact would that have on your neighborhood? We are looking at that very thing in my neighborhood. Many neighborhoods are disappearing, being replaced by huge empty lots where people's houses once stood and big ungainly apartment buildings. The problems are mostly with absentee landlords who squeeze as much money as they can out of the houses without putting anything back into the properties or to maintain or improve them. Or with developers who buy up old buildings with the intention of demolishing them and replacing them with tight rabbit warren apartments that are rented by the room instead of family-friendly apartments that would fit in a residential neighborhood. There's a good vibe in Troy. I hear it from people in surrounding towns and cities. Visitors are impressed by the amenities such as the farmers market and by the beautiful old neighborhoods in this walkable historic city. Our neighborhoods are a huge asset. People want to live in Troy neighborhoods. If you hear the press releases coming out of City Hall, you would think that there's a lot of interest in keeping neighborhoods strong and welcoming. I hope that's true and that we can count on your support. You've gotten a letter signed by people in the neighborhood. Some are owner occupiers, some are renters. We have great concerns about the deterioration of our neighborhood and are looking to you to provide support, assistance, and answers. I'm happy to answer any questions and work on solutions to the problem situations. Thank you. And do you have any questions for me
Any
at the moment?
questions? Thank you very much.
Contact information's on here. Right?
Mine's short. Hello, my name is Jeannie Stigler. I live at 2258 Old Sixth Avenue. 2256 is a property of mine, and 5 William Dickerson Place. They're all sort of together. They're connected. So we call it kind of the compound. So as Drea pointed out, she is my neighbor on Fifth Avenue, and I'm on Old Sixth. I also garden at Father Flanagan's. So I've been in my house, in my apartment building for over 30 years. And I was also witness the 2 or 3 sort of murders that happened on our block. What is happening now is that a developer has bought up about 4 properties and the CEO Old Tink building. And there was some like discussion of real change and that the buildings were going to be renovated. And now they're vacant, they're empty. And so because of that, there is all of these other people coming and loitering. There is people on the stoops. There are people hanging out at the picnic tables. They're just there because there's nobody to say, this property is owned. This is what I own. I'm really careful about my properties. Nothing. It's just like they're here. Now, I have to commend the city. Mr. Buckley definitely has helped us try to sort of move the loiterers and help us with the trash. But it is the property owners, the responsibility to take care of their buildings. And if they don't, then they should be fined. And there should be fencing. There used to be fencing around CEO so that there was not as much loitering. There's nothing. So there's just like this emptiness that there's people coming in and out. So I really would urge the city to look at this or to think about like how it's impacting our neighborhood and the gateway to Troy. Remember that Old Sixth Avenue is a border for one of the Hutton Street exits from 787. So cars come down to River Street. And so it is one of these things where you can see the decay, right? And we just wanted to turn it around. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jeannie.
So good evening. My name is Frank. Most of you might know me. I'm from the North Central Community Solidarity Group. We're excited to be here this evening. We really are excited about what happened with Team Hero because we're working right along with Team Hero. We've been working with them for quite a while. So we're going to speak to you about another proposal that we're going to come with. You'll see that I handed some of copy of some of the
Frank, I'm sorry. Would you speak into the mic, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank
You
you.
will see that I handed a copy of some of the paperwork that will be a part of our proposal to, of course, Ryan Brosnan. He's our District 2 councilman. He's been working with us. He's sat in on a few of our meetings. He's aware of what's going on here. And it's come time now to make it flow. We have another copy with the council president, Ms. Steele. She has it. We want to look at, and so we're asking that all of the council, take a look at this thing, and you will see that this really affects like all of us. It will have an astounding effect on all of us. Eileen Sarmiento, she's always been a part of what we do moving forward, and so we made it available to her, and of course to our clerk, Maria, who puts up with me regardless. And of course, we've also made sure that our mayor, Carmela, has one as well. So before I continue with this, we have a few that are going to speak up for North Central and what we are proposing. And I want first for our minister, he's one of the, so this is going to be things that are ministerial as well. And our minister, he's here from New Hope, which is located in the North Central area, right down there off of Middleburg. It's called Mount Hope. And he is Pastor Barber. He's also here. His wife just had surgery. And so, but he took time out from her care to be here. So I want him to just, I'm gonna allow him to speak first and then we'll continue. So if you will, please.
Good evening, everyone. We're here on tonight to embark on something that probably long overdue, trying to do something to help the community, for our people, especially our young people. There's a lot going on now with our young people. It seems like we're losing them, but we're trying to come up with a project or something that can be in our neighborhood where young people can go, not only young people, but older people, and where families can be involved. I'm not a native of Troy. I am a pastor of the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, 2904 Fifth Avenue. And there's anything going in the neighborhood in Troy where I pastor. I'm a pastor that believes not only shall I be pastoring the church, but I need to try to pastor the community that the church is in as well. Because a lot of the communities are not in the church. And we're trying to make sure that we have something put together where our church and community can come together. We can deal with our young people. We can come and see what's going on with our young people's mind, because somehow we're losing our young people. There are many avenues out there that our young people to take. And North Central has been doing something for years of trying to make a difference in this community. So what we're proposing tonight is somewhere that our young people can come to and their families can go to and feel that they're safe. It could be an addition to the city of Troy, to our area. And that's what's needed in every community, a place where families can go to and come together. Not to argue, but to come together with love, fellowship, and do things that make a positive sighting and make the city of Troy look better. God bless you.
Thank you.
We want to thank him for that. Next up, we'll have, so we also had, this is such a privilege. We brought a couple of some of our work. So we want to ask right now, Toya, you want to come up? Okay, can you just stand up, Toya? Toya is one of the ones, and she has her son with her here tonight. So this is Toya. She came here from out of the Catskills, and she was looking for, a place to make things happen with her son. And we had an event up at the a back to school event where we gave backpacks and that, and she ran into us from the North Central. Somebody pointed us out to him. We had the very bright shirts on North Central, and they pointed her to us, and then we got her, and so we now have her working. We now are getting her involved in employment programs. Her son is now in a daycare, and so we provided her with avenues to do that. So that's just one of the people that. So this is what we're doing, and that's her. I'm going to ask next if we have enough. She is going to come right now. She can introduce herself.
Hello, everybody that's here. My name is Kalila Makan. I'm talking on behalf of North District as well. Working with these people over here actually gave me opportunity. It gave me employment. It's been help supporting my son. He's a senior right now. He's graduating, and they've been helping out with him for 5 years. And I just wanted to say, I'm just glad to be a part of their team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so you see, and there's plenty like that. We get them every day. They come to us, and that's what we do. We were able to provide. She's outstanding. We were able to, for the last 5 years, to work with her son. He is now a senior. He's graduating. He's doing outstanding. He's also, he's He's got like a 3.5 or a 3.7. So he's really doing it academically. And this is some of what we provide. Now, also now I'm gonna introduce you to one of our mentors right here. His name is Ramel. He's a Troy resident. I'm gonna let him come.
Hey, neighbor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Benjamin Roundtree. I'm a lifelong resident of Troy. As you can see, Mr. Maben, I've been doing mentor for mostly all my life, but for the last 5 years, I've been over in Albany County. I have some of my resume, my work right here, if anybody would like to look at it. I'm been a mentor over at the district attorney's office. I'm a facilitator over at David Soar's office, at the Justice Center. And I've mentored to youth over there in Albany, but I've been over there going on for the last 5 years. But my home is over here in Troy. And we have a real bad problem going on in all these communities throughout the world. And my job is to just mentor and let these children know, young men and women know, that there's better choices that they can make with their life than what they're doing right now. As you can see, this is a badge. I'm part of a Chaplains Workers Task Force. It allows me to go inside state and federal institutions. I do Bible study. I minister to the inmates inside the facilities. I go all over. I just recently came back from a speaking engagement in Syracuse where I spoke in front of a bunch of federal prosecutors about the federal system. The 29th of this month, I will be at the Albany Center, Capitol Center, on the 29th, and I'll be speaking in front of federal judges and federal prosecutors about the things I'm doing out here by making a difference. Cool. So, I've been through a journey in my life, and to get to where I'm at now is truly a blessing. And I just want to give back to my community, which is the North Central Community Solidarity Group. Frank's been noticing my work, not just him, a lot of other people. And I just want to just be a part of the solution that's going on in our society today. You know, I wreaked that habit, like I was a part of the problem at one time in my life, but I did a complete 360 in my life. And I do not want people to go through the things that I went through in my life. By me standing up here today in front of you guys is living proof and living testimony that people can make changes in their life and do good for their community. You know, what better person can you have than you can have to represent your community than somebody that's been through the things that I've been through in my life. I'm a facilitator for the Restorative Justice Program. I just received the Alert Award from Dan McCoy, the County Executive of Albany. I work with Pastor David Trainum over in Albany. I work with the Northeastern Food Bank. I deliver the food. I'm close friends with the CEO of the Northeastern Food Bank. We deliver all the food up in Amsterdam, Schenectady, Albany, and wherever else they need the food, you know, the pantry. We deliver it all to the Catholic charities up there. We go pick up all the food from Target, Walmart, Hannaford, Aldi's, and we take it all to Catholic charities. We take it to Sycamore, Schenectady, and we distribute the food on a weekly basis throughout the week to people that need food. You know, and I don't know, this is just my passion. And as I'm standing here speaking to you guys, I get teared up because it's just so much wrong going on in this world right now. It's a beautiful world in which we live in, we just have some ugly people that's doing some ugly things in this world. You understand what I'm saying? And I just want to be a part of saving lives, that they don't have to go and be incarcerated 2 and 3 times before they can get it right. We can save lives right now. I do prayers at the police station. This is what this badge stands for. You know, just my credentials on the back. We go to the hospital, fire departments, and when police are in need or somebody gets shot or something, a police officer get hurt, we go and pray with them and their families. I'm all over from New York all the way up to Buffalo, Syracuse, Utica. This is what we do. And I love the person who I am today. And I just want to bring a part of that to the community. I was living in South Troy for 20 years. Just recently, I moved up to Lansingburg in July, and I'm standing here looking, and lo and behold, this is my neighbor. This is my neighbor right here. He's my neighbor. And my daughter's been living there for like 7, 8 years now. She owns her property up there. And I would love to be a part of establish something up there, Mr. Maben and the rest of the guys, about, you know, helping these kids that's going astray. You know, a lot of these kids want to be helped. They're just caught up in a cycle where they're afraid to say no to their peers. A lot of them don't have self-esteem. They look for somebody to solidify them. And I try to tell them, you solidify yourself. You don't need nobody to solidify you. You do not need nobody to solidify you. Your friends don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? If you're running with a bunch of friends that's doing something that you don't want to do, you don't need to be with them friends. I spoke with somebody one day. We was at a mentor conference. One dude stood up to me. He said, man, you old and washed up. I told him, you got one thing right about what you said. I am old, but I'm not washed up. I said, the key to life, told the young kid, the key to life is to get old. I said, you guys not even making it to 20. What's the sense in that? You guys didn't even begin to live your life yet. So after the meeting was over, he came to me. He said, I'm sorry. I said, for what? He said, I shouldn't have said that. I said, you're only telling me one thing. I touched your heart. Fast forward. 3 months down the line, I'm in Dunkin' Donuts, getting my breakfast. Somebody was like, yo, thank you. I was like, thank for what? He said, breakfast is on me. He said, you don't remember me? He said, I'm the one that said that smart remark to you. And he said, after I listened to your story, I left the streets alone, and I've been working here ever since. So now when I go into Dunkin' Donuts, I get my coffee and my sandwich free because the manager was like, he's a good worker. And I thank you for, you know, being an influence in his life. And that's what I want to continue to do. I just want to make a mark on somebody's life so they don't have to go through the turmoils and the things that a lot of us went through in our life out here. And I just want to share that with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You can see why we're excited to have him as a mentor moving forward. We had him for years. He's Detroit. He's been here. He's been through it. Believe me, the adversity, what he's overcome. Next, I'm going to ask. So this is another one. He's a part of a group of 11 guys. They're called the Urban Trio. They're doing amazing things here in Troy. They're all Troy, born and raised, and they're all, you know, super black men doing super things to try to make a super difference. I'm going to let him give his speech.
Good evening, Council. My name is David Dupree. I'm a member of Urban Trio, and I'm here to tell you, well, first of all, let me say this. Urban Trio is a collaboration. It's 12 of us, actually. We all been together as sandbox buddies. I'm a lifelong resident of Troy. I graduated throughout the Troy school system, went to work for the Troy school system up until retirement, okay? But I also want to tell you a little bit about Urban Trio. Urban Trio is a powerful and memorable name that perfectly encapsulates the essence of a group of gentlemen giving community support. The name combines 2 words, urban and trio, to create a unique and catchy name that suggests a strong sense of unity and collaboration. Urban is a modern and dynamic approach to community support, while the trio emphasizes the importance of a close-knit group working together towards a common goal. Urban Trio effectively conveys the idea of a group of dedicated individuals working together to make a positive impact on their community. One of our main goals is to help reduce the continuous recidivism in the juvenile delinquency. We out here, we trying to mentor the youth, we're doing different things in the community, supporting other different organizations. And all we want to do is be an impact on the community and help our youth and help make our community put out more productive citizens. At any given time, you know, we out there working in the community, we give cookouts, we pass out backpacks and everything is up. And this is we come out of our pockets just doing this, whether it's $50 a member put up, you know what I mean? And we just make this happen. We don't go out, you know, asking for donations or anything. We're just here because our heart is here in the community and we want to see a big change and be as a positive impact on the youth as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can see why we're excited to have Urban Trio. Now there's 11 more just like him. All right, and it can be, and they all have families here that have grew up in Troy. They got kids, grandkids. I got 7 grandkids. I'm 60, my birthday, if I make it in the next couple of months here. And we have, you know what I mean, we've all grounded in Troy and we've all made like some of them metamorphosis, I mean, have changed. The next one I want to bring to right now, he's a part of North Central. He's a part of we've been doing this now going on 10 years. Wow, we're excited about that. We're going to let him come up and introduce himself.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Cliff Conyers. Let's fix this here. I'm a member of the North Central Solidarity Community Group Financial Department. I was here at the last meeting when the mayor spoke about other groups and organizations in the community. We are those ones, the community group, as you heard about others. Our main goal as a community-based nonprofit organization is to inform younger generations and older generations about the resources that are available to them, because we strongly believe that the lack of social economics is the trigger behind a lot of the peer group woes, the lack of serious concern about life, other people's lives, and the life journey itself. We also advocate of families needing living wages, fathers, mothers, young eligible working children. We are also advocates of vocational training, welding, plumbing, electrical, AI, artificial intelligence. That's just another name for computer learning. Carpentry, automotive mechanics, heating, ventilation, and air conditions. Also an advocate of those who want to or those who are in the process of getting their GED. Adult education is a profound topic. Yes, of course, many of those courses are out there, yet we are taking advantage, but yet are not taking advantage of the opportunity. This is why, as a member of North Central Solidarity Community Group, I am pitching to the city council member to help us help the community by creating a stipend program for younger teenagers, young adults, and adults who want to better their lives and be a productive citizen of the city of Troy. And that's it on that note. But on another note, that number 9, I was here earlier, is a beautiful number. Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that's just some of the ones that we had that we wanted to speak, just to show you, like, because a lot of times when it was North Central Community Solidarity Group, it was me. I just wanted to show you there was much more. There's a lot going on. We've been doing this for the last 10 years. I'm gonna run through this very quickly. And so here's the ultimate goal of this, right? We know that there's a problem going on in our area. Most of this is black on black crime. And so what we need to do, right, is bring true culture and refinement. We're trying to change the culture of our streets. We've been doing this for the last 10 years. We've found ways of succession. We found ways to do this. And now we have an outstanding, overwhelming opportunity to bring forth what we wanna, and we'd like to adopt we like what the mayor has brought about on this quality of life thing. I don't know if you know, but that thing has taken a buzz out there in the city of Troy. When you see those quality of life vans, or you see that quality of life thing, you already know to like straighten up. People know to clean up, pick up. Here come them quality of life guys. You know what I mean, gals? And so it's working. It's workable, and we like that. And so one of the things we want to propose is called like the Quality of Life Black Cultural Center or the Quality of Life Black Impact Center. So the thing we want is everyone to be involved. In order for this thing to change, in order for us to have what we are searching for, and this has an impact on all of the districts, not just District 2, but this is predominantly in District 2, right? We need all of you. And so we invite all of you to become a part of this investment. We invited the mayor to come a part of this investment. Before with Mayor Carmelo, at this point, there was a time where you're going to see in what we are going to propose. There was, when this ARPA money really first came out, our owner, we had 347 and 349 8th Street. These were properties that were owned by Mr. Bejan, still are, and they were something that we were working on. These ARPA funds came where owners can work with communities about rebuilding these things, putting some money involved in there, redevelop them and restoring them and getting them back to the community and make them. That's exactly what, what we're bringing to you. Unfortunately we were actually, and I'm pretty sure Mayor Mantello can attest to this. We actually did a news segment in front of 347 and 349 related to this with Emma Quinn back then. And then in front of, and then 349, we actually had a death. A guy OD'd in 349, and Mr. Bejan had to unfortunately tear that one down. It's gone. 347 is still there. Okay, so here's what we're trying to do. We want to, and when we say change the culture of the streets, here's what we found, right? We've brought together all kind of mentors, and I'm gonna give you a list of who they are, but here's what we're trying to do. We're gonna get the guns out of their hands. We get the guns out of these kids' hands, right? We're gonna get this gang violence out of their mentality. I swear this is what's going on. We're gonna get that deprivation or delirium out of their emotional status. I'm telling you, our kids are struggling. We deal with them on a daily basis. We know what's going on. We got to get this sinister out of their souls. They got to, you know what I mean? Like, and when you do that, you take the guns and you take all of this away from them, you got to replace it. What are we going to replace it with? What have we found that has been effective? We replace it with absolute intelligence. They've been, they getting a lot of nonsense. And so we give them absolute intelligence. We give them a true education. We give them understanding. Some of them just, everything that is conducive or with real confinement and growth and development is what we do. Sometimes I'm telling you, it's just a hug. Sometimes it's just to listen. We can do that, but we need to do it together. We can have much more success in this, right? If we just continue to do this together, the mayoral administration, the city council, all of the districts, we need to do this together, and then we can have success. A lot of the people that are on board with this is NAACP, Team Hero, Snug, Troy Look, Urban Trio, the Ministerials, all of the Black churches in that North Central area. We've had success in bringing them all together now. We have them all together, and Pastor Barber is a true testament to that. We would have Bishop Macklin here tonight, but he's the president of the Black Pastors Association here in the city of Troy, but his wife had a stroke, and so he has to be there to take care of him. But and so please give me that. So again, NAACP, we are the ambassadors. We adapted their ambassador program. Team Hero, Snug, Troy Look, Urban Trio, Ministerials, Troy School District with Amanda up there. Outstanding thing. We got several entrepreneurs for restaurants and entrepreneurs. All of them we've worked with throughout the last 10 years. This is the truth. The Troy Police, so law enforcement, the Troy Police Department back when it was Chief Owens, all the way right now. We have an outstanding relationship. We're working with Chief DeWolf. We also work with, I'm not sure of his exact title, but Keen, I believe he's like a captain or something, Keen, but he works with us. He's on board with us. We just had one just retire. He was actually working in this building. He retired, he did his walkout, and Officer LaChance was doing outstanding with us. We have I've actually spoke to these people. They know that I'm coming here, and we have all of their graces as well. This is Mary Pat Donnelly from the District Attorney's Office. All right. This is the judges. This is Judge Sober. This is Judge Jordan. This is, Judge Morgan. This is Judge Young. They're all saying, yes, Frank, we certainly hope that this is something that, they're on board with us. Probation. All right. Linda McMahon and them, we're working with probation right now. We're working with family court right now. We're working with the reentry program. As you see, we are very busy. We have been very busy. There's nothing, no one has got around us. We are ready right now. We have mentors. So we're bringing in a mentor thing. We also have tutors coming in from RPI on deck right now, ready to go. We have like a big brother, big sister program. We have done, you've all probably been a part of our food distribution, especially during the COVID time and all that. We've fed thousands. We've had graduation ceremonies. We've done pastors' installations there. We actually had the voting. We held the voting down there. You can come, we had the polls down there. We had community meetings year after year. I'm sure you can all attest to. We've had with the mayoral administration, with the council, with the chief of police, with the Mohawk Hudson Humane Society. So what I'm trying to show you is we've got like all accountability, and what we are showing you right now is what really will work. We also now have on board a substance abuse counselor who has more than 40 years of experience that are going to come in and be a part of what we have moving forward as well. Workshops, businesses, all of these things we have. We're asking that we all be a part of this, embrace what we have. This thing, we really believe that this proposal is, this investment is economically viable with some of the funds that there's some ARPA funds out there. We're gonna ask, just come to the table with us. Let us make the presentation to you. Let us show you the business plan. We have the property in 347, 349 that you see there. We now know that we're pretty sure that Johnstone, the former Johnstone HVAC, which is a wonderful property with enormous opportunity there within, is probably not going to be the new location of the city hall, and unfortunate for that, but however, it can certainly be, the quality of life Black Cultural Center. It can certainly be that it is built for it right now. We'd also like you to, so that's where we'd like to have our next presentation and have you come to. All right, so if you could just give us the mayoral administration, we're asking of you, Mayor Mantello, and then we're asking of our city council president, Sue Still, and then of all of you to give us a date.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, and then we can.
We appreciate that.
All right, we'll
Yep.
get together and make this presentation.
Very
You see
good.
what we have behind us.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for all of your input tonight. Very helpful. Thank you. I want to make note, I'm not sure if we have any other speakers, but there were some folks who presented the council with a petition this evening. It's a petition to pave the main alleyway running behind First Street, residences, businesses from Van Buren to Harrison Street in Troy. I just want to make note and make that part of the official record. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Mayor, could you just come forward? Is there someone? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see her. You can take that microphone right off.
My name is Darlene Ricard. I've lived here in Troy almost 10 years, renting Fryoffer House. But my interest is the main mall right near us is not being used. I was thinking that if we work together, maybe we can make it into a housing, or my friend wants to sing. I was thinking that she lives with me, making it into a studio for her. For her to sing. Because all that mall right there is all, we're at the end of Troy, right at the,
Do you mean the old Price Chopper location?
no, right by, who's it?
Oh, okay.
Troy
Oh, okay.
Plaza.
The Hoosick Street Plaza?
I just hate to see all those empty buildings being wasted.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Thank you for your patience waiting all this time. Appreciate it. Mayor, we just have a few questions, if you wouldn't mind.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've heard lots of folks ask questions about finances tonight, and so we just wondered if you could, just brief us on when we can expect some clear figures for 2023.
Well, if you let me go right now, we'll continue on the path we're on. We will have a budget to present to the council by the charter deadline, October 10th. Accountants are working feverishly to close 2023, as you know. Hundreds of entries, et cetera. They're put in now. We're getting a pretty good grip on 2023. 2024, we'll have those numbers through June by budget time. So you will have those numbers. So we'll go through those with you.
Will we have those prior to the
If we can,
budget?
it's all going to depend how quickly the accountants can get them to us.
Okay.
I still have to review them. As I told you, expenses, we're able to track those. This is all about revenues. There's different accounts in different areas. It's not as simple as just running KVS because the entries weren't put in.
Has the audit been started?
The audit has been started, but once the accountants close 2023, it'll kick into gear. They have started with what they can upload. Obviously, the closing of 2023 is the key. All I can tell the council, you will be pleased. You will have numbers through June of 2024. I must tell you, this has been a Herculean effort. I cannot say enough about Gabrielle Mahoney, somebody unfortunately, was not too kind to her earlier. But saying that, someone with not a huge financial background, she's in the back right now, feverishly putting in entries. Deputy Mayor Donnelly, phenomenal. Our accountants, BST, has just really done a phenomenal job. You must know, it's the first time in 40 years that we have come, then an administration has come into office, no comptroller in 2023, not close. I should say the prior year. So what is being accomplished has been working 14, 15, 16-hour days for the past month with the accountants, obviously, putting us in a good place where we'll be able to go through numbers with the council through June of this year. You'll have 2023, fairly closed. The auditors will continue, but they've uploaded everything they can. So now it's the closing of 2023. And then you'll have a proposed 2025 budget.
So that will be on time? We will
On
have a budget
time, on time.
And
It will be
prior to that?
presented, the proposed. So you'll have that, and then you'll go right into
Will there
your
be a
council.
presentation of
Yep,
the numbers?
there'll be a
So we'll have
presentation.
some- I
Yeah.
mean, you have to understand,
Listen,
frustration.
I'm frustrated. I've
I
said
mean,
this.
Were you sitting
yeah.
in my seat?
I've said it a million times. Do you know how painful it is for me? Yes, we can track expenditures. Yes, we have some revenues, but you must know the accounting system and where we were left. We thought it would be much simpler. It's not. And
Right.
we know we've been very public. This isn't where we want to be.
No.
Saying that, it's painful for me because obviously myself and the prior mayor and Andy put together a reporting system second to none 8 years ago. But guess what? We are where we are. But we're going to obviously be able to report. As I said, this is not a financial issue. This is not a money issue. It's not a cash flow issue. It's purely a very frustrating accounting issue. But saying that, you will have numbers, like I said, through June of 2024, 2023 will be closed. You'll have a proposed budget by October 10th. So yeah, it's been an incredible job. The team also, if I could just say, the comptroller's team, you know, when the prior comptroller spoke about the team over there in the office, they're amazing. The problem is, let's just say the prior comptroller did pretty much everything. One man show with pieces from different individuals on the team. When you have a lead like that and not a deputy, and so saying that, we will be talking about, you know, 2025, really looking at that office, because we cannot put the city in a position like this again, where essentially one person is doing it all with tiny pieces, but nobody in that office really knew what the comptroller was doing. And he was so good, he was doing it. And even departments, you should know, when putting this budget together and asking departments, where are you on revenue? Where are you on expenditures? We knew expenditures, but when you ask department heads, they should have a pretty good grip. You've been there, Councilmember Vera,
Right.
but
And
Andy did it.
we
They
don't-
would
we
just
don't have
say,
anything
yeah.
now. And we have
Andy would
nothing.
say, Andy
Nothing.
would say,
Absolutely
the department heads, comptroller did it. Comptroller did it. So to provide you right now scattered numbers would be a disservice. I've been in your seat. I want to provide you as 100% accurate numbers that are going to be explaining easily, not where the prior comptroller will get back to you. We'll get back to you. We are going to provide you as good as numbers, solid, accurate through June, which basically, you know, the next year's budget, whichever year it was, the proposed budget would rely on through June, July, and also trends. So that's what you'll hear. But to provide, you know, scattered, okay, we're here on expenditures, et cetera, it's a disservice. So saying that, you will have it. A proposed budget will be in front of you by October 10th.
Can you give us a ballpark figure as to when the 2023 AFR will be submitted to the state controllers?
Hopeful within the next week or so. That's the
Because
goal.
at this moment in time,
Yeah.
we are the
Yeah.
only one of 1,300 communities who have reported. We are the only one without any information in there.
That's not true.
No, it is.
If you look
you
at the
look at
AFR that was submitted, it's actually inconclusive. City of
Right.
Rensselaer.
Everyone else.
City of
has
Rensselaer.
scores. We're inconclusive.
Exactly, which you have known from day one since I took office.
Right.
So
And it's
saying
a
that,
frustrating situation.
it's frustrating.
Right.
But guess what? It is where we are. And the problem, as you know, which has been very public, The prior accounting firm, which ProNexus, we told you, we would try to go after them. We sent 2 letters. They're not blocking. They essentially said they worked with the prior comptroller. They feel they delivered a product. They submitted a product that was inaccurate. So saying that, we pulled the AFR because the numbers were not right. The prior comptroller, as you know, it's been very public. It didn't work out. We know that.
And we
So
brought
guess
in
what?
people.
We brought in
Right.
a really good accounting firm. I cannot say enough about BST, about Brendan. What they have done over the last month has done circles around the prior accounting firm. So we're going to be in a good place, but it has been a Herculean effort. And I cannot say enough about the comptroller's office, about folks from the prior that retired, et cetera, coming back to help out with reports. I cannot say enough about Gabrielle Mahoney, about Deputy Mayor Donnelly. They're over there right now, just literally crunching numbers. And picture for every employee, you have to look next year, and you know this, Councilmember Soriento, you have to go through 500, 450 employees and look at their steps and look at their health insurance individually, saying that the KVS system is the most archaic system, which the accounting firm even is like, you got to get rid of this system. But to turn over, as you know, Council President Steele, THA's in the middle of doing it now. It takes a year and a half. And I think you're at the tail end of changing your accounting system, which,
We have
you know,
done.
I've spoken to Deb Wachowski, a prior comptroller. So saying that, to get us where we are today has been a phenomenal effort. I cannot minimize the work that has gone into this, you know, but saying that, once again, this isn't where we want to be. On a last note, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our temporary dog shelter. There is misleading information out there. Folks should know the city owns that land. It was never executed when the mayor, prior mayor, Lou Rose Amelia, the council back in 2014, 2015, maybe even earlier. I believe it was 2015 actually, approved selling the property, given for $1 to the Central Little League. It was never executed, never turned over. It is city property. I assure you, our assessor has confirmed that. Rick Morrissey, who was here as corporation counsel at that time, or deputy, I should say, has confirmed that. So there is no deed to the Central Little League. Saying that though, the field has not been used in a while. If you looked at the field, we have prior photos. There was a tree, the dugouts were completely overgrown with bushes. Saying that, we have talked to Mac, we have talked to Jocelyn. They do phenomenal work at Central Little League. We've talked to them. If at some point in the spring of 2025, we can corner off, it's a huge field. We do use it to walk the dogs. It's right across from the garage. And as you know, we don't want to be in this position either. But the first week in the office, the Humane Society told us, we're not taking stray dogs. So the issue is, where can we do it? Have a facility, temporary, house the dogs, not have them roam in the streets, chasing kids, biting other dogs, fighting other dogs, etc. So we have found a good home. I can't say enough what Maria has done, what our departments have done to actually get the garage in compliance with the state ag and markets law. So another, you know, situation, we didn't want to be where we are. We have great partnerships with nonprofits. They're doing a great job. And you will hear, we are in the midst of hopefully hiring a part-time ACO to help Kevin, the full-time ACO out. You'll see that potentially in the 2025 budget. And additionally, as you know, you appropriated monies for a part-time walker, someone to go feed clean the temporary shelter. But saying that, once again, we had a great contract with the Humane Society. I should say also, we're probably saving a little bit of money doing this ourselves, but we don't want to be in the stray dog business. And it is a regional issue. We'd love to have a county shelter. It's not going to happen. We are talking to other chief electeds, Mayor Petroselli and others, because they have similar problems. But the problem is we're a big city with a big problem of stray dogs. We're handling it. And I cannot say enough about all of our departments stepping up to the plate. So, thanks for hearing me out. But once again, we are where we are, and we're gonna work with this. And I must tell you, the city's moving forward. Good things are happening. And I think you'll be very, very pleased with the proposed 2025 budget.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. We look forward to learning when those reports will be filed.
Yep.
Any other comments, questions? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento,
Second.
second by Councilmember McClure. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.